Have you ever blamed anybody else for making you feel a certain way? Oh my gosh. He hurt my feelings. Oh my gosh. She hurt my feelings. Let's talk today about blaming other people for the way that you feel. Okay, so there was a time in my life where I blamed my relatives for everything. Okay, everything. And it wasn't too far fetched because some of that stuff was true, okay? So here's the thing. I remember being a young girl, and I was a young girl who had this big, beautiful, open heart. Still do, right? Like, I'm not a different person, but I was just way more in touch with my authentic nature back then. So I had this big, beautiful, open heart. And, I was very compassionate, very loving, and I made the mistake of thinking that because I was so open-hearted and loving and compassionate, understanding and empathetic, that everybody else was going to be like that. And I learned the hard way that that was not the case. And so, being this young girl, who was built like this, in a family that did not know how to acknowledge and respect emotions, was challenging. Okay, and it led to a lot of different experiences, not just with my relatives, but also with life and with just everyone in life. But it started with my relatives, and so most of the challenging experiences that I had with people, and emotions, were starting in my childhood family experiences. So I had a lot of things to blame them for, and it wasn't too far fetched because it was real experiences that I had that were challenging in my childhood, okay? But I used to be very negative because of those experiences. And that was really, what led me to blame. So we kind of go through these different cycles, right? We go through these different stages and these cycles of life. And if you find yourself at a place where you are in a challenging space, you're still dealing with, trauma that has impacted you, that has impacted your heart, there's a chance that maybe you've never had anyone teach you or encourage you to take responsibility for your life, take responsibility for your challenges. And at that time, I remember thinking that, like, this is just the way that life is. These people have been mean, and, I'm upset, I'm frustrated, I'm in pain, whatever the situation is. But the one thing that I never imagined, all those years that I was blaming my relatives for everything, the one thing I never imagined was that there was a possibility that I could be playing a role in my own pain and my own problems, because no one had ever really taught me that. It wasn't until I really began to meet the right teachers, like, my elder Iyanla Vanzant, and, reading certain books and getting into personal development and things of that nature, that I began to learn how to take responsibility for my experiences. So here's the thing. When it comes to emotions, we have to stop blaming other people for how we feel, okay? Because regardless of what people do that can trigger certain emotions within you, you have to recognize that you are having your own unique emotional experience, okay? Every single one of us is having our own unique emotional experiences. That's why 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people can be sitting in the same room experiencing the same things, and they're not all impacted. Some people will cry, some people will laugh, some people will have no, reaction because they are not impacted the same way, right? So that's why it's important for you to stop blaming other people, because your emotions are your own unique experiences. We have no control over emotions when they show up. We can suppress them, we can ignore them, we can pretend that they are not there, but we cannot control the fact that they show up. So when they show up, they are there to teach you something about yourself and about your heart and about the things that are important to you. This is why you have to stop blaming other people for how you feel. You can acknowledge how you feel, but you don't need to blame other people, okay? So emotions are your responsibility. And they will always be your responsibility, okay? They can be triggered by certain people, places, and situations, but they are still your responsibility. So that was the lesson that I had to learn, that emotions are my responsibility and your emotions are your responsibility, okay? So here today to support you however I can. And if you think that you would like some support with taking more responsibility for your emotions, working through any challenging emotional experiences, feel free to reach out to me. You can schedule a free Navigate Your Emotions call to see if my coaching is a good fit for you. You can also click on the link below to download my free Emotional Confidence Guide, which is going to assist you with going through my 5-step process to help you easily begin dealing with emotions. So I will see you guys in the next video.